Hello, Kimmy Cass. What is going on? I'm here to draw attention to MBR, which everyone knows what this is. Maybe we can get it in more depth. What's happening, Martin? Maybe we can look at it in more depth. Keep me occupied, man. I haven't eaten for 2 days. I'm fasting. Hopefully we can get a few in, get people to ask a few questions. John is here and he knows all about it, and we can maybe shed some light, shed a bit more light on things that people maybe don't know or whatever. We got some lucky dogs here. Lucky dogs. Melissa, we are outside the puppy torturing facility, MBR, in Huntingdon, England. Just waiting for people to come in, and then we're going to spread some light on what is going on. Yes, John. What is going on? John, Mel and Steve, what is happening, man? The whole crew are coming through. What's that, mate? Yes.
Wicked.
Say hello to John. John is here.
Oi, oi, Mel and Steve.
We've come to shed a little bit of light on this shithole, which will be interesting because I don't know what the trolls will say, man. We usually get... they said hello, mate. I mean, what do the trolls say about this? Because obviously they're pro-dog, they're pro-pets. They might be anti-cow and anti-pig, but it'll be interesting to see what is said. Mel and Steve said, get your YouTube channel going. You'll pop off.
Yeah. We're like overwhelmed sort of thing, so it's another the thing we need another volunteer to... We will. Keep... That's a couple of times now they've said it, so kick me up the arse once more.
Mate, it'll pop off. I'll definitely come and help. I'll set you up, mate, and we'll get you live, man. It's the time to be on live at the minute. YouTube is popping off, so...
And you do not... You're going to do a long live, you're not in a rush or anything. People spend a bit of time on it.
Yeah, mate, if you do about 2 hours at a time...
2 hours?
You get a lot in, like, you do get a lot in. Melissa from Australia said, we are all behind you.
Wicked.
John said, wicked. Yeah, Mel, Steve, we're going to try and get their YouTube set up and get them live at least.
We've got one set up, we just need to start using it properly.
Yeah, get it set up, man. Do one a week. 1 a week's enough, man, to fly off. Mel and Steve yesterday got 60,000, I think it was 60,000 you got, wasn't it? Privyet Arena, Privyet, как дела? Меня зовут Jake. Jim H, nobody cares, man. We are here to shed light on this shithole behind where they torture little baby puppy beagles. Mel and Steve said, I'll message him because we need it up before the petition goes up. So yeah, we're going to do our best to get Camp Beagle online, get it live. Da, я говорю по-русски. Malinky. Fairy favourites, what is going on? Basically, we've got, look at this. MBA Acres breed over 2,000 beagles a year. All will be tested upon in laboratories. It is not science, it is violence. Gates of hell. Why me? Dogs killed on site by MBR staff. It genuinely is a puppy torturing and killing facility. No Gujarati, man. No Gujarati. Очень хорошо. Очень хорошо. Спасибо большое. We got 64 in now. Here we got a few bees the name of their band this year. They're just talking, otherwise I would ask. They're here for a few days. We've got Jan who's here for a few days, and over here we've got. Let's have a look at the kitchen. John's going to show us the vegan kitchen. No dogs, no cows.
The important thing about us, we're here in the real world. We reach millions of people now every month on our social media. But the crucial thing about us here, we're in the real world. Anyway, so you've dropped in, Jake and Amy.
Name of your band, Jack?
I'm Dippy, that's Bamba, we're Dippy Bamba.
Dippy and Bamba.
Singing for the animals.
We've had 4 years, we've had hundreds of cops out there in the morning, we've had this, we've had, I can't believe the stories of the different things. But this morning, I think the first time, he had 2 barefoot hippies.
Yes.
It's like, yeah. Add that to these animal liberation people I met in Brazil. It reminds me of the thing they said, stick it in the pizza.
That's what you
Who
said.
knows? You know, like, what's the point of playing a game? Shh. Who knows? Stick it in the pizza.
Stick in the pizza.
Give it a go, try it.
Everyone follow Dippy Bamba. We've got the other half of Dippy Bamba there. I'm not sure if it's Dippy or Bamba.
I'm Bamba.
Bamba.
Come in here a sec.
Right, let's have a look at this vegan kitchen.
Put the lights on, put the lights on.
Get the light.
Wait, let's do that. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, so we got 101 people in now, which is popping off lately, so which is good. Here we got some signs. We got please help us. We are being bred for torture by MBR Acres Limited. End animal experiments. Help me. Dogs killed on site by MBR staff.
Poetry here, I think, is quite interesting.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Because I feel like their only argument is that the testing on beagles, you know, it's going to save.
Oh, it's going to save humanity. We're all going to get cured
But this is
after our vaccines.
AI instead.
Yeah. So this is the poem. It's called Why Me? Why wasn't I born an eagle instead of an ill-fated beagle? Then I could have flown away to freedom and another day, away from people causing pain, a scenario that is so insane. As all diseases from the past return and re-evolve, from the tests that they've done on us, they assume the problem's solved. Evidence found and is believed that 100% was not achieved. So why not try the new AI? Then beagles won't have to die. In AI, I put my faith. Act and make the beagles safe. Yeah, we need to stop torturing puppies. On top of all the bullying of cows, sheep, chickens, fish. Anyone really? Stop bullying. This is a big part of it. It's a chunk of it. And it's torturing puppies. Maybe the trolls won't get offended when we talk about puppies, like they do with the other beings that we like to
We don't go on
highlight.
about it a lot, but I'd say this kitchen, being a vegan kitchen, is kind of key to the Camp Beagle thing.
Lovely.
Because we've got some, actually that's not vegan, that should be in the number, and we'll give this to the dustbin.
Yes.
But people bring along gifts, we don't want that, it's not vegan, it's not good, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
Gently remind them, maybe the second or third time they brought loads of stuff, but the first time for sure, and we kind of received it with love and thanks. And then a lot of people, by the time there was some 2 lovely people come from Essex, and they brought us sausage rolls. I didn't see the sausage roll, but you can kind of tell it when you glance at the bag, yeah, if it's going to be a bit vegan-y or not. And you can sort of tell them. I saw just a couple of buckets of like suspecty things, and I thought, but I went, thank you, like that. And as I was sitting over there, one of them said, "Are you vegetarian?" And I said, "Yeah, well, not. I am, yeah, I'm most of the time here, but we've got the vegan kitchen," and like she slapped everyone, "I told you so." And they spent the next week leafleting in that street, going up and down the street, getting invited in neighbours' houses, talking about here, and they came back dead proud of themselves the next time, you know, like Greg's sausage rolls and stuff.
The vegan stuff.
Carry on. Couple of rats. Well, there's no rats there. MBR poison all the rats, but we don't want an excessive rat population because they will poison us a lot. Cake. We're famous for our cake. Oh, this nice homemade cake. Look at that.
Look at this one.
And we've got the kettle on. Lemon drizzle cake. We've had the fucking kettle on for 4 years, 3 months. My mum and dad are from Ireland in Kerry. And if you go around to people's house and they don't offer you a cup of tea, you may be never going to speak to them again.
Absolutely, man. Look
This
at that.
kettle has been on for 4 years and 3 months. Yeah.
4 years, man. It looks like it as well. John, how long you been here, man? I know it's been a few years now, hasn't it? How long
4
have you?
years
4 years.
at the camp.
Through every harsh winter, through every spring, summer, and autumn, and now we're heading back into the winter. What's it like, man? And how do you get through?
It's the toughest thing I've ever done. I've done tough things. I've done undercover fucking stuff with dogfighting, badger baiting. People know, long, tough projects. This is without the doubt the toughest thing. I'm broken because of it, but a lot of people, I've got so much love at Vegan Camp Out. But I'm a bastard and I'm going to grind on here. I knew I'm a grinder, you know, I've kept on going in the animal liberation movement for 40 years. Boom, 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 boom. But this has taken its toll on me, I must say. And people worry about me, but don't worry about it. I'm a tough cookie, but as many, do you know, like compliments? I don't know if you get them, oh, you do great work. And we all do great work. But this project, there's something about it. When at Camp Beagle, when we get love and support, we soak it up. We're like, yes, 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 thank you. You know, rather than we're just doing our bit or something. It's a tough one. Yeah, so.
Yeah. I'm pissed off. I didn't know I was coming. I didn't bring a box of meals. I'm going to bring a box of meals in 3 weeks' time when we come back. This is one of the lucky ones. Angel. Yes, John, what is happening? Yes, John. Yeah, everyone's saying you are doing a great thing. Trudy, Susie.
And I get the credit for it, like you will, because I'm always on camera. I was delighted with Amy and Jack there this morning because I didn't mind being on camera. But and even amongst activists, like people come in and I go, "Do you want to do a live stream with me?" People are terrified of just doing this thing of talking to a camera.
Nah, man.
And so it's always my face. So I end up getting the thanks for the Camp Beagle project because it's a team of people.
Yeah.
There's a big team. We don't just do this, you know, like the trolls like, hey, sitting there drinking tea. We've got loads of research. I cannot tell you the amount of work that I've got, my workload. All of our workload at Camp Beagle, because we're getting more and more information and we're smashing it, you know, and we're kind of overwhelmed with our success in a way. But you can say this place is still here. But things take time. Everyone wants a fucking button to persist. They want you to tell them, what can I do to stop this? If I knew that, I'd fucking do it. I told the judge if I could get 10,000 people with pitchforks down here, that would be my preferred option. But that's not happening. It takes perseverance, hard work, and to keep going. You know that insult? People are snowflakes.
Yeah. I do believe it.
What about the power of the snowflake? That's what we are here. Boom, every day. And it's, you know, what's that going to do? Fucking snowflake becomes a glacier eventually, you know? Drop after drop will like break the dam. This is like a medieval siege. The government have chose this place. They said that they're now going to defend this place in terms of national security in preparation for the next pandemic. And the government has chosen this place as a battle line for all animal testing. Well, good, because we will win this battle for sure, you know. There were other more tricky battle lines that they could have chosen. You'd have some arguing to do, you know, some professor, some Nobel Prize. There's no Nobel Prize winners involved in this. This is like these dogs go up the road to LabCorp or Charles River or to Sequani for testing for agrochemicals in toxicology tests that they've done for 70 years. So we're kind of like, we're honoured that it's been chosen as the government battleground because we're winning. Yeah. We're fuckers like Camp Beagle. Take inspiration from us. We don't get any. We get so much love at Vegan Camp Out. Like, if you have best campaign of the year, normally it's stupid competitions. You have to put yourself into it. We won't, but we win things because people were kind of ignored and disliked by a lot of our activists. But people love us. And they see what we're doing. Yeah, we've got the love, you know.
There ain't many people in the world that would give up the comfort of their own home for 4 years through all the harshest winters to come here and sit outside a puppy torturing facility.
And on that note, and we don't. You dropping in and out today, doing the YouTube thing. You're doing the bollocks. I'm not going to ask you to stay another night, stay next month. We just want people, if they're passing from north to south, come to our vegan kitchen, drop in and see us. Me, Emma, Soleil, Jan, who's here a lot. We know this is tough, but we're fucking ready for another winter. We just need love and support. You don't need to.
Yeah. And
This
you
is
you
a
haven't even
group.
got to be a vegan to support this. They're torturing
No way.
puppies. They're torturing puppies, man. What percentage of the population would be against what these people are doing? Do you know what I mean? Who would be against it?
Can I say something like that?
And we could join the Mel and Steve Project live stream thing to actually get someone with a channel to
Come
come,
and see my dog.
get on live, and come down here as your first one. You ain't got to go to a slaughterhouse. You can come here first, where there's no hassle, there's no pressure. Come and have a cup of tea.
You mentioned you don't have to be a vegan to be. Of course you don't. I don't ask people if they're vegan when they come at all. I want to know what they do. I want to know what they add to the program. Once we get chatting, and once I say to them, you know, they'll get to find out about our vegan kitchen. That if they're going to stick around, that conversation will come. But it's not the first thing that comes out of my gob. But on that note, I'm telling you now, there's an extraordinary, unique connection between human beings and dogs. You can't just use that word animals all the time, you know what I mean? But the history of domestication and slavery is a brutal one for chickens and pigs and horses and cows. It's grotesque. Dogs have got a different history, I would argue, with other creatures in that their slavery. The dogs kind of played their own part in it. It's coming out now, the story. Anyway, let's get to there's this bond that I've got. The reason I opened my eyes to animal suffering, the reason my eyes were open to chicken suffering, to pig suffering, the reason that my heart was laid open to the fact that there's hundreds of millions of my family members, not lower animals. I used to, even when I got rid of believing in religion, I was brought up Catholic, but we live in a biblical society, human supremacy, we say it all the time, humans and there's animals. That night that the original Pepe Le Pew died, bust my heart in two. I'd gone out with a vegetarian woman. I was going out with a vegetarian woman at the time. I never thought I'd go vegetarian. I used to go to the burger bar and I'd have my burger and she'd have her tomato soup. It was a dog dying that cracked my heart open. And from that, and it wasn't just dogs that broke my heart that night. I didn't just make a promise to like dogs and my brothers and sisters, all creatures. And we find that here, that it's this thing of, you know, they're torturing puppies, and it strikes a chord that wouldn't strike a chord. And you could say
100%.
we live in a species society because people's hearts should be broken about mice, the same way as about chickens, and the same. But we're not rational, logical, professor, theoretical robots. We're fucking human beings. I'm speaking for myself personally. Do I have to fucking apologise? I've got a special relationship with dogs. This is my first dog in 14 years. And I am doing this. Let me tell you this, anyone out there, I know why I'm doing this. And you talked about it being grueling. Camp Beagle, all you're going to have a look at the pictures around you. Beagles. Show me a picture that's not a beagle there, you know? The pictures of mice and monkeys over there are all day long. The reason I'm doing this is on behalf of chickens and pigs. I'm not being poetic. Hundreds of millions of them will never see the sky. You break someone's heart that they do that to a puppy who needs a walk, and you're not a million miles away now.
This could be the gateway to getting people to understand it
all.
all.
Could be, it is.
Oh,
I
it is?
experience it all the time. The amount of people that have gone vegan through coming here to Camp Beagle, I can't begin to explain it. That's our ingredient. But we're not exploiting the puppy factor. It's actually heartbreaking. Can I give you one weird extra, like another dimension that maybe wouldn't count for chickens and pigs? You know, if you're lucky enough to hang about with chickens and pigs, like if you work at a sanctuary, you can get amazing bonds with chickens, you know, like if you're lucky enough to spend time with them.
Yeah.
But I would argue that, say in a chicken farm or a pig farm, human beings become Satan. These workers leave at 4 o'clock today. On a weekend, they're leaving at 11 o'clock. In a pig farm and a chicken farm, I would argue that it's like Satan is out the house. Once the workers are gone, there might even be a bit more, some time to breathe a bit more easily. With dogs, you can hear the agitation when the people arrive, and you see them in the trolleys. Dogs have got an unbreakable bond, and unlike chickens and pigs, if a chicken or a pig ends up in a sanctuary, it can form a bond these days with people. But I'd say for dogs, for Pepe, it's part of that cruelty. It's part of the cruelty, never seeing the sky like the chickens, never feeling a drop of rain like the chickens.
Wow.
But chickens don't need to form a bond with human beings. They'll get by without it. Henrietta the hen and Clucky, there's Billy the rooster. They'll be all right, clucking around, scratching.
Yeah.
Dogs need fucking human love. It's a tragedy. So I think it's why it's such a place of tears. People cry their eyes out here, more so than they would a chicken farm. And I don't want to listen to some boring theory about how that's wrong or something. I'm just dealing with the reality, and I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. And people could say I betray the vegan cause because I don't say vegan in our live streams. I do not, but I've got my own agenda, and I want people to have some faith in people sometimes that that this is a good one. This vegan kitchen is core. So, for example, milk in your tea, milk in your coffee. I don't, that's it. And they go yes or no, and they can say the vegans struggle because they're like. And I'm waiting for it to say, is it vegan? I say, yeah. But I'm more interested in the people that don't drink cow's milk. Drink cow's milk. And then later on, once we got into the vegan thing, they might go, oh my God, have I just had plant milk? So yeah, it's a really good one, the vegan kitchen.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people who like to go around telling people what they should say, what they can't say, what they should be doing. You're on the front line doing this with dogs, opening up people's minds, changing the way people think. Using your own methods, man, and people are quick to say, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that.
Like vegan, walking around vegan camp up, but these days I will lap it up because one of my roles used to be to talk about direct action. There used to be a tradition that once you got caught, went to prison, then you would talk about the Animal Liberation Front type lectures, and that got me a lot of attentions. And people come up and they kind of identify. Oh, well done. But again, I was a public figure then because I'd got caught. And the same thing here. But when we walk around vegan campo, there's no organisations. You won't see Camp Beagle. Please, someone get back to me if you see even the word Camp Beagle in another UK animal rights publication or in another UK animal rights website. We get inundated with love from people. We are left alone, ignored. Vegan groups ignore us. We've got all the vegan groups in Cambridge, vegan groups in... None of them have ever been down here for a... have your Sunday down here, Sunday dinner down here.
Why?
And why, I don't know. All I do know is we get a massive amount of love. We get enough love to keep us going. If we had to rely on animal rights organisations or animal rights groups, or... Here's an interesting one for you. I've spent my life over 40 years doing what you call militant activity, ALF type things, raid laboratories. I won't go into the stuff I didn't get caught for, but you can imagine, the whole range. It was really interesting at someone's funeral recently, the other week, a guy called Carl Garside, a good friend of mine, who I've known for decades, and it came out at his funeral that he was a prolific slaughterhouse truck burner back in the days,
Yes.
And he was like the classic quiet man. I've always known Carl, and I always kind of had suspicions. I'd never done stuff. I did some stuff with him, but and he was like, And his nephew, I rang his nephew, and he was saying to me, "Why the bastard? I used to go on camping trips with him, in Ireland. I'd have loved to hear stories about setting fire to slaughterhouse trucks." But I'm from that world. It's the world I inhabited. Ooh, what can I say? It's a world I was so proud of, so much pride in the animal rights movement. Automatic pride. If I ever met anyone, anywhere in the world, and they told me I'm a vegan, I had this automatic bond with them. That's broken now, I'd say. It's not the case. Because I've met two... I think there's a disproportionate amount of angelic people than the rest of society, massively. But there's a disproportionate amount of toxic motherfuckers, finger-pointy haters in their bedroom. I would say that the animal rights militants of the day, I don't know if you know some TV show called Craggy Island, like Irish comedy. It's basically the militant animal liberation movement in the UK makes me embarrassed. I can only put it that way. It's like a pantomime. They do their stuff on Facebook. When they have an event, they invite the police. We're going in. Bring your burner phones and all the rest of it. And all it happens is a load of cops. And it's like Daddy stops them doing their militancy because they announce everything they're ever going to do on Facebook. It's so sad. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
It makes me sad.
Yeah.
I used to have burning pride. Because to do direct action, if you want illegal direct action, you gotta have a fucking brain, you know what I mean? You gotta be creative.
Yeah.
If all you've got to offer life is, it's all right for you, like they're drinking tea, we're going in to get the dogs. Next Saturday at 12 o'clock. Oh, boring.
John, I'll come back to you on that. I've left my lights on. I'll come back to him on that. I'm just going to show you some signs while I turn the lights off in the van, and I'll be back. So we got yeah, so what we got here, I used to work in a meat place. I stopped eating meat as I found out information. Well done. There's not really many people who could work in a meat place and carry on with what they're doing. But yeah, let's have a walk down here anyway. We've got Gates of Hell. We've even got the police. Even the police agree, look. The police don't want to be torturing puppies. Why me? I think I might lose the signal in a sec. There's the poem again. There is not one reason for this to be happening. Dogs living inside, puppies living inside, no human interaction. The only human interaction they get is when they're being tested on with masks on, surrounded by smoke. It's about 100 years outdated, man, with the information and knowledge we've got now. There's no need to be doing this at all. I hope all the trolls can come in and relate this to other aspects of veganism. I mean, look at this, man. This ain't happening in a faraway land. This isn't happening in a fairy tale. This is happening over there. It's happening behind them gates. Look at this. They've even given them names. Look, Josephine, Ollie. Connect the dots, man. We've got to connect the dots. This was took last year. This was took last year, look. A whistleblower took these last year. It's got to fucking stop, man. Anyway. The bloke I was just speaking to was John Curtin, who he lives here basically. They live in these tents with a couple of people. They come and go, but they base here. And just behind there is the puppy torturing facility where they literally torture puppies in a different manner to what they do with farmed animals, the other slaves. But yeah, one that's probably not spoken of enough, which is strange to say that it's a nation of animal lovers, isn't it? But I have left the. I'm going to leave this here because I think I'll lose signal. I'll leave that there. God. There is that. I'll leave that there for 1 sec. We are back. What I'll do is a Q&A with John. Yeah, they torture puppies, man. MBR Acres. Muzzy's off giving the chicken comments. What would you say about torturing puppies then, Muzz? If chickens are all right to exploit, what's your views on these puppies here? These beagles. Canada had an hospital exposed in Canada this month with beagles.
Yeah.
And it was changed. I don't know if you heard of that. But yeah, literally, this is the opening. They're living indoors. They never see the outdoors. They never feel a drop of rain. They never experience playing with the ball with their human counterparts. Just a life of misery, a life of hell. Literally a stone's throw away. Show proof. Can you imagine? Yeah, they're that addicted to a product. So I can imagine it's the same for you. You're that addicted to a product. You don't believe that dogs are being tortured, because then it opens something up for you to then realise it's the same across the board. It's absolutely mental. The psychology is fascinating. Imagine being so addicted to a fucking dead bird that you want proof of a dog getting tortured. Anyway, we're back.
But like you said, you're talking now about I heard you talking about some guy about the the moral aspects of you can understand that's bad to a dog but not to a chicken. I was going to say I'm not excusing that mentality, but I'm about to excuse that mentality, because I was that person once too. I've just told you, like went out with a vegetarian woman. Now, she didn't used to give me too much of a hard time, but she did used to like curl her lip up. I knew what she was on about, like she did just go, She wasn't a kind of, she didn't have a big animal rights philosophy about her vegetarianism, but she had a proper, and I didn't used to tease her, like, it's a sausage.
Well, this is the point. We when people make comments to these people, it's not like it's unprovoked. That they say things and it triggers the activists to be like, well, this is why you're doing it. You're making jokes now about chickens because.
But I suppose the thing is, don't get too frustrated when people, like, for me, it took a dog to die in my arms. Seeds have been planted in my head, and you'd think the rational brain, I should have understood the information that was coming in, but it took a heartbreaking incident, because I'm not a robot. So you can give people facts, you can give them the stuff, and if the conditions ain't right at that time, but that's not to say don't give it them, but it's like, when you sow a seed, it's got its time to come up. So don't get too frustrated with people who don't get it. Just keep at it. Like I said, mine's a good case.
I'll chill out now.
Where it took a dog. For me to understand 3 years of this influence of my girlfriend. I never thought I'd go veggie, and it happened like that in one night. Never again,
John, take us back to when your anti-vivisection day started. So, like 40 years, you say. What was the turning point for you?
I got back to it was Pepe down in Ireland. So I was a punk at that time. I'd already sort of worked out maybe the workplace ain't for me. I'd gone to live in Ireland. Pepe died, and I had this shame, actually. I felt guilty about being super for so long. So I came back to England to find the animal liberation movement, and this was at the end of 1983, and it was a time when the animal liberation movement was beginning to really peak. So I joined an up and ready, really, really dynamic movement, So I didn't have to invent new techniques, new methods. I was in at the deep end, and I loved it, you know. But you will not. If I painted a picture, you'd think I'm exaggerating. Say the idea. I said about it in my speech at Vegan Camper. When I was at Vegan Camper and I was looking around, but I am not saying here. I'm not going to play some nice music for our fake militants that they're going to go, oh yeah, come on. I'm not talking here. I am not encouraging you to go out and break butchers' windows. I am not encouraging from what I'm about to say.
I am.
Well, crack on. I'm not encouraging you to burn slaughterhouse trucks. Like I said, you crack on and do it. As soon as I'm not doing it, I'm not a fucking general in the trenches that's sending other people to do it. But I was involved in that back in the day. But I was looking around at Vegan Camper. Emily Pankhurst, a famous quote from her, I quoted her. She said, talking of Emily Pankhurst, you talk about the history of the movement going back to the 80s. Look at these photographs here, folks. These were vegetarians. A lot of these people you can see in these, like, this is the start of the 20th century. There's a statue they erected in 1906. And on that plaque, it reads, men and women of England, how long shall these things be? This brown dog had been tortured. There was an undercover investigation. You know, things come around in cycles. But look at the costumes on these people. It's like, start of the 20th century. How long have these things gone on, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, I joined an up and ready movement. I was a Vegan Camper on the Saturday night. I call it the school disco in the big like tent. I call it school disco, rather. I don't mean any disrespect. I love Vegan Camper. It's a mystery to me. But I always feel an outsider at Vegan Camper because it's like, fucking hell. We never thought, the animal liberation people, we never thought there'd be as many vegans as there turn out to be. Our thing was to shut down the meat industry. We thought we'd shut more meat companies down. But I was looking around the crowd and my thought was, this would not be happening today if back in the day, people hadn't smashed butchers' windows and burnt slaughterhouse trucks. This would not be here. You cannot say, I'm not saying that that's the only thing that made this up. Of course not, all the vegan outreach. When we fucking talk about vegan outreach, you don't know how lucky you've got it. Imagine doing it back in the day when there were no such thing.
Also no CCTV though, which would have been good for us.
It's all right. Yeah. The vegan outreach, you'd probably end up renting out the smallest bloody church on some of the outskirts of town. It would look like there was a jumble sale going on. You'd have more people doing the stalls than you would have people coming in.
Yeah.
But what we did have was a massive network up and down this country of animal rights groups in every single town.
Yeah.
I believe zombification has taken part since then, not only within the animal liberation movement, but more importantly within the rest of society. So something that's seen as radical today, I can't begin to tell you, the whole movement was behind the illegal direct action, you know, but maybe you can't get your way to total liberation by just keep smashing. There comes a limit where the really hard work is what people probably watching this do. Education, awareness, that's a crucial part of it. But that direct action side, that shock, I'm not saying, by the way, it's part of history and it's gone. It appears to be dwindling. It appears to be something that belongs in our past because it's not happening. And please, I refuse to do some sexy speech reaching out to people in balaclavas in their bedrooms. We've got to do more direct action. If you want more direct action, if anyone out there wants more direct action to get done, I'll tell you the only effective way, it's not from making a post telling other people to do it. It's go yourself and do something. And if what you're doing is so effective, so great, other people will notice it. And because it's so great, they'll try and emulate it.
And while he's on that note, Mel and Steve set up Project Livestream, which was, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks back or something. They've gone from X amount of views we've on their own to 6 people to now 22 people with over 100,000 views. And that number is expected to increase to a lot more over the next few weeks. So it's inspiring change. It's inspiring activists.
Very pleased because I only get to see Mel and Steve probably at Vegan Camp Out or maybe at some other events, like very briefly. I would love to meet up with them. And do you know they do something well? I was hoping to meet with them. And are they watching this now?
I'm not sure. Mel and Steve in the building, maybe.
My joke about vegans, because like I said, once upon a time, someone said to me anyone said to me they're a vegan, I love you, because the only vegans in the world was fucking animal rights people, and we didn't have all these trolls and idiots that you got now. So it was, I was able to form an instant bond. But my kind of stereotype joke, I see vegan as becoming a bit evangelical. They want to save people's souls. If I'm talking to someone and then I find out they're a meat eater, I can just carry on the conversation. The current vegans, oh really, would you like to see this recipe? If this person who's not vegan wants to speak to me, I'm happy to engage, but it's not really on my thing. But my stereotype sort of joke is about vegans. It's kind of mugging people on the street, you know what I mean? Like, oh you know, do you eat animals? You know, that's like standing on people's toes. And when that's done badly, it's nothing worse. It's cringe. It's like, it's the opposite of my behaviour. But, and I mean this is the massive, I'm not saying this forked tongue. Mel and Steve do it where they are on the street. And they do stand on people's toes deliberately, but they do it very, very well. There's a style to them. When other people try and maybe copy them, I think that's when it might be like, you know, if you just go, oh, you, I don't eat meat, do you? You know what I mean? It's like, but Mel and Steve, I'll get it. Can I just get this a sec?
Yeah, go on, mate, yeah. Yeah, man, so I'll shut this.
Hello.
They have got an Instagram, and a YouTube is coming very soon, and they're going to start lives.
We've fucking reached 3 million people a month.
Oh, is it up to 3 mil?
Some of our posts get like 1.5 million views.
Wow. Get on their Instagram, man. They're up to 3 million a month.
Oh, John, yeah.
Reached accounts.
John, you can't Beagle. You just rang me.
Yeah, it's nuts, and it. I mean, you've still got. Can you believe we're outside a puppy torturing facility? Not even a sheep bullying facility, not a cow bullying facility, not a chicken bullying facility, a dog, and you've still got trolls, man. How small is your dick? Do you know what I mean? How small has your dick got to be to troll this? It's mad. It's just nothing shocks me anymore, though. Do you know what I mean? Nothing shocks me. Let me know when you're ready, John.
So you just keep going and just...
Yeah, on and off, mate, on and off.
That would be like, that wouldn't work in a million years, would it, on Instagram? On Instagram, you have to go bum, 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 bum. On TikTok, you can keep going.
Yeah, I think with YouTube, it people pop in, pop out. John, what reaction have you had off the locals here? You've been here 4 years now. What reaction have you had off the locals?
Not bad. Good. In terms of like, we've got lots of beef, we've got lots of pork, people drop in, like we need water and stuff like that. So good, we get a good level of local support, but we're not overwhelmed by local support. And I know the reason for that.
What's that?
It's a taboo subject in this area. You've got a massive laboratory 5 miles up the road from here. That's this region's biggest employer. It employs over 1,000 people. It's like a car factory when that comes out. Here, 15 cars come out. There, the cars come out from like 4 o'clock. They're still coming out at 6 o'clock. As we speak now, there's like over 70,000 animals in that laboratory, just 5 miles from there. So they've employed a lot of people.
Wow.
There used to be other animal testing facilities around here. So traditionally, it's like an unspoken taboo. No one knew about these places there, but they kind of didn't want to know either. So, all I'm ever for is for grateful the amount of support we get. But we get support from around the world. I wouldn't have, but as far as the local vegans go, if I can have a whinge, absolutely useless. I remember someone showed me a Facebook comment last year, and someone from Huntingdon had written, and they said, is there any vegans around Huntingdon? Someone wrote back to them, someone sent me a screenshot and said, I've got Camp Beagle down the road. And the response from this purist evangelical person, whatever, was like, they're not all vegan. And it's like, fuck off. Honestly, fuck off. I'm sorry, excuse my French, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to qualify it any more than that, except when I heard that, I was like, fuck off, you judgmental prick, you know. And whoever that person is, I don't know who they are, you meet them a year later, and they've got some new diet or something, you know what I mean? I don't want to be around. After 40 years, when I say I don't give a shit about people, what they eat, I still hate seeing people eat meat. I won't watch people, people don't eat meat here, because I don't ever seen anyone taking the piss, because we've got the vegan kitchen, we don't say, but anytime we have events, we ask people to bring food, and we put vegan food, but really we tell people we want to share the food. So that's a good reason to call it vegan. You don't have to put the vegan message, because it's cruel to animals on every single message. Anyway.
Yeah, nitpickers.
We've got this deluge, you know. Once upon a time, you asked me about the early days. We've always had the naysayers. We've always had that, don't just sit there drinking tea. What are you doing here in your tents? The dogs are still suffering, you haven't helped them. But, once upon a time, whoever noticed them? They'd have to get out of their bedroom. We used to have face-to-face meetings and things. They'd have to come to an actual physical event to be known. Now they do it all from their bedroom. I'm the greatest vegan in the village, or whatever.
Doing absolutely nothing.
And I tend to be those, it's like that dogs that bark. I love the doers. If you're doing something, we can have a little class.
We've got no time to speak. We've got the people who are doing stuff, they've got no time to speak of others, ill of others.
Be proud and don't obsess yourself about other people's projects. You know what I mean? You're not doing it like the best way. Whatever, do you?
100%, man. Carry on.
From a solicitor's.
Carry on, mate, yeah.
Look at that. Film that.
By the way, that is wild, they're torture puppies.
Yes, please. You're amazing.
It's incredible. Oh, shit.
Yeah, same. Yeah. That should be
a different one.
That's good.
Different one. I'll get mine.
Okay, nice one, Jane. You're a star. What lead do you need?
Okay, mate, I got it. Yep. Right,
so
then.
we've got all the solar panels here, generators, we've got everything. We're a self-sufficient little bunch. People always ask us what we need. We never ask for nothing.
4 years.
Everything is donated. This is donated. The solar panels, we never asked for this, but caring. But I know that this wasn't donated to us by an animal rights society, because they don't even mention us ever. But we get massive support from the people.
So a question to the people, why is it that vegan-centric groups are not in support of MBR, man? Camp Beagle at MBR.
Because, I'll tell you why. Because we don't make all our posts. We don't make any posts about chicken farming. So therefore, fuck them. They're the enemy or something. Or that's not vegan work.
Why can't everyone just have a piece of the puzzle? And your piece is this one, do you know what I mean? Somebody else's piece is that one. Why has it got to be? You've got to mention everything. Why have you got to mention, all these different wars and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean? All political issues. I just don't get it, man. Why can't people...
I want to be careful about not going down too many. Behind you there's a picture of Barry Horn.
Barry Horn.
He died on hunger strike. I was talking about him. He did a series of 3 massive hunger strikes. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, he was on strike. He was on hunger strike over Tony Blair's broken promises. Do you know things come in cycles? Now it's Keir Starmer's broken promises about animal testing. Tony Blair promised to have a royal commission and to have animal testing. Barry Horn took him on. Barry Horn died in prison. Now look, that banner there, I know what it is. it's something like "fuck the Nazis" or something like "fight the Nazis," and that's a good picture of Barry. I've known Barry. I've talked at Barry's funeral. Good old friend of mine. Now let me tell you something about RC. I've never partake. You'll never see John Curtin a single word ever about all this should be involved in this issue. I think that I don't even know the names of these syndromes, like intersectional. I couldn't even tell you what that properly means because I've never studied it. It seems in some theory. Let me tell you the example of Barry on. Hopefully people are paying attention to this. Now, at the time they were called the National Front, the British National Party, far right wing, violent skinhead racists. Barry lived in Northampton. If there was going to be a National Front demo, and there used to be a lot, and they were on the streets, they were trying to take the streets, you can guarantee at the front would have been Barry on. He wouldn't have had his vegan t-shirt on. It wasn't like that then. But Barry's there. Now, I took over the Animal Liberation Front Supporters Group magazine, being the editor. And for me, there was too much opinions in it. And we were getting in trouble for the opinions and getting in trouble with the authorities. So I decided, right, we're just going to have a diary of actions and we'll let the prisoners, we'll print the prisoners' letters, their opinion, and we won't edit them. But it was a bit cheeky, because I was the editor, I got to write the editorial. It's a bit bad, isn't it? It's a bit Stalinist, right? We're going to have no more opinions, but like, here's the editorial. And I got in real trouble from Barry, because I'd written in this thing about the animal liberation movement, building bridges with other groups, because I was kind of doing that at the time with environmental groups and Earth First. Barry got back to me like, wow, from prison. You're just going to fucking dilute the movement. Like, we're the animal liberation movement. And when we fucking fight, we fight for the animals. This is a guy, remember, that if the National Front, the racists are in town, he's at the front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get it. And when we used to have animal rights meetings, we used to discuss animals. When we used to have our animal rights thing, not because we naive about other issues, focus on things that you got in common and do that. And this idea of fighting every single struggle in one go, otherwise it's not justice or something, it just leaves me stranded. It's good to focus. The Camp Beagle is a real stark example. If it's okay to have it's like normally it's an insult, you're a single issue. What about fucking focus? Focus on one thing. So this whole idea about it, people arguing all the time, I see it, but I've never written a comment on social media yet about, and to me it's all philosophy. Just fucking, I'm happy if someone feeds the pigeons.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if they're whatever label they want to put it on it. If you feed the pigeons, hallelujah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's always going to be some philosophy, and it is philosophy.
Just skim through that again, John, would you, for this one?
What?
You mate, when you started connecting with these other organisations, your mate in prison.
Why are you doing 2 live streams?
Yeah, just that one again, mate, for that one. So
how come you can do 2 live streams?
that's live and that's good quality. That's live. That's good. That's for long form.
But won't they get bored? Listen to that?
They will, but they got a minute, haven't they? They got a minute. But yeah, just a quick one, mate.
You talked to me before about I don't know how we got onto it.
I mentioned people mentioning the wars and all these other things.
On my personal post, I think, and I will say it, and I'm not here talking on behalf of Camp Beagle, it's a personal thing. You're asking me a personal. I can't give you, say, Gaza. I think it's the cruelest thing, the cruelest, and
obviously
fucking warning to people who are kind of dismissing it, man. If you campaign for animal rights, it's quite good to have in the background that you can say we need to elevate animal rights up to that of human rights. What about if we are witnessing the end of the Western liberal bullshit experiment of human rights? There are no rights in Gaza. I am not talking, very importantly, though, on behalf of Camp Beagle here, because we go about beagles. But we strayed onto politics, and it's, I'm nervous about saying anything here.
No, it was more so
Yeah,
just say we
but-
need to focus on animals, innit?
You got a picture of a man behind you, Barry Horn, who died on hunger strike in prison, for fuck's sake. Over 20 years ago, I spoke at that man's funeral. Barry had a go at me when I took over the SG, and I wrote an editorial about building bridges with other groups. Barry, the man who is at the front, when the National Front, when the racists, Barry's like a trade unionist, a good old sort of, you know, fashion sort of lefty. He was involved in loads of social issues. But when he was doing his animal liberation stuff, he didn't have to talk about, he didn't feel any need whatsoever to explain why today he was not only why today he was doing hunt sabbing. I'm doing this on behalf of all injustice. No, you're doing hunt sabbing to save a fox.
Yeah.
And Barry, so here's a man who, by his nature, I suppose you might call him, he'd have laughed if he'd have called me, Barry, do you realise you're an intersectionalist? And what the fuck's that?
Yeah, the reason I brought it up was because there's just too many people having a pop at others for not doing this, not doing that. Why are you focusing on that? Everyone has got the piece to the puzzle. Everyone's got their piece to the puzzle, and that's the reason I brought it up again. So cheers, John.
Not everyone's got the piece to the puzzle.
Some people ain't got no piece.
Some people just gonna point the finger.
Yeah.
That's wrong, not like that, like this. They haven't got a piece. They haven't got a piece to put in the
exactly.
puzzle. All they've got is that, not like that, like this, not like that. Look, they put the wrong piece.
Before you speak, get a piece. Before you speak, get a piece.
Yeah, do something and say, I do this and this works and it's superior to what you're doing. But first I've got a theory. That's no. I done this and I done that and it saved some lives. And then I'm gonna go, you know what, it saved some lives. Alright, let's talk about it then.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Are you doing something? Animal rights groups. It wasn't a vegan group. Your animal rights, loads of people in your animal rights group used to be vegan. But it was the people who run the pigeon rescue. It was the people who did the cat rescue. It was the people who did the dog rescue. Let me tell you something now. I know hundreds and hundreds of people in my time that have gone to prison for animal rights activities. Hundreds. I didn't know all of them, but you end up, you know, like banjo playing sort of in communities. You know each other, but not. You know the idea now. It breaks my heart. I see posts on social media, a picture of balaclava people. Did you know there's an organisation called the Animal Liberation Front that rescues animals? It not only breaks my heart, it makes me sick. It makes me want to puke when I see those posts. Those people are you. Who do you think the ALF used to be? It used to be the cat rescuers and the dog rescuers and the people that did the stall about vegetarianism. That's what they were doing the day. In night time, they were smashing butchers' windows.
Quality. Nah, John. These scumbags who enslave all these puppies and do what they do, they got kicked out of Italy, I believe.
Yeah.
What happened over there, mate, for them to come over here? What?
They ran a puppy factory like this. MBR did. They've got ones in France. They had one in Italy. They got a big one in China. They got a massive one in America.
Wow.
And some other small little satellite ones. So they've got their place running in Italy, and then a campaign began. A bit like Camp Beagle, but not a camp. And then one day, they didn't put it on Facebook before, but it spilled over. There was lots of people, lots of locals, and they broke in. That picture here, that's Italy.
Yeah.
So that's puppies being handed this side of the fence.
Bless them.
They went in, and they broke in, and they rescued some dogs. Excellent, good. The police got involved afterwards, and the police made some arrests, and the police took them to court. But in Italy, there was a procedure where if you get allegations, you can make counter-allegations. And that's what they did. And the judge ordered an investigation into the practices inside the MBR factory. And it ended up, it was the MBR European manager and the vet of the Italian puppy factory. They're the ones that went to prison, not the activists who took the animals.
Wow.
Things like using sawdust. In a 2-year period, I think it was 93 puppies had their windpipe or their stomachs blocked by sawdust.
Wow.
So they choked or starved to death. What do they use here? Sawdust. Everything they do in Italy, they do here. they left Italy saying it was too restrictive. So this thing about with the Union Jack, the nation of animal lovers, how far removed from reality is that? This is where they come to hide.
Yeah. And you know why?
There'd be more opposition than the Badger.
We're a bunch of soft touches, man.
There'd be more opposition in Antarctica.
Yeah, I agree, man.
To the Badger. The Badger is such a... How the British people have allowed it to happen.
I was speaking to a Dutch lad at VCO, actually, and I was saying how the Dutch and the French do things differently, and I said, like, it's same as the football hooliganism, you know, they speak to a European, it's like, oh, the English football hooligans and blah, blah, blah. It's a load of rubbish, man, especially in the last 30 years. It's the French and the Dutch, when they, I mean, what did they do the other day? They're, you know, kicking off doors of the slaughterhouses, tying themselves to machinery, and we're a bunch of soft touches, man. I firmly believe it, man.
People used to look for inspiration to the UK movement for radical. Hopefully they look to the UK for other reasons now, for like or you know, vegan camp is an impressive thing to look at and all the rest of it, you know, or the but no, I think the days are gone when...
What happened, John? What you've seen it all? What happened to the British stiff upper lip, man?
I actually think it's more of a and why in Britain it should happen so fast, I don't know. There's
a modern day thing.
Yeah. Why the animal liberation movement? You've got the phone, you've got social media, but things move. Let's not be things can't stay the same. Emily Pankhurst, I'm sure she didn't envisage we're going to smash windows permanently for 100 years. That's the way we're going to get women's liberation. And maybe the same thing in the animal rights movement is that you've got the initial bit where you smash, bang, wallop, crash, and then the really hard work. It's easy to smash things. It's actually easier to destroy than it is to create. So now the hard work. Now you've got Jake and Amy there, you know. Their revolution is doing it through songs. And you can, again, the fake militants these days with the song's going to help the animals, isn't it?
Yeah, they should be doing this, they should be doing that, while they sit at home doing nothing.
A song will break a lot of people's heart, more than you, with you point your finger going
100%, man. 100%. What about the laws, John? You were saying on one of the podcasts that there's nothing stopping this place from being shut down. There's no government regulations, nothing like that.
Well, do you know, like when mantras get repeated and people believe them, the government always used to say these tests are required by law. Always, for decades. And we put on our leaflets back in the day. The UK law requires, so we need to change the law. But we've been doing our research at company. We do a lot of research. There's a big team of people that have helped us and still do help us. What about them in there? You know, they haven't even got a bed. They've never experienced that simple, soft touch. You know, they haven't got a water bowl, for God's sake.
Just surrounded by monsters, man.
What was I saying? What did you ask?
Law, yeah.
The government used to say it's required by law. So we were digging. We've been doing parliamentary petitions. What law? There is no law. We've forced the government to change their language. Now they talk in riddles. Now they talk of like international guidelines as adhered to by all countries. That was the first time they ever broke away from that, and they now accept that it's not required by UK law, but it's required by international guidelines. What does that mean? Trade bodies, someone called the international. The first government statement said we now have to follow international guidelines as followed by all governments. And you're like, hang on, wait a minute. So you've got the Taliban in Afghanistan. You've got, I don't know who's currently in charge in Botswana, Tasmania, Timbuktu, Greenland. We've all got the same regulations. What else does that It's
Where does that line stop?
And so the UK government can't. It's unfortunate. It's all out of our hands. It's international trade agreements. So it's more passing the buck. So no, this place could be shut down today, and we'll all be better off. Apart from Pfizer and Monsanto and DuPont and GlaxoSmithKline, they're the ones that keep this going. This is there to maintain healthy profits for multinational corporations to be able to get the products on the market. It could be shut down today and we'd all be better off, apart from... and even the ironic thing is, one of the biggest backers of non-animal methods now, the people that are doing all the research, are... They know the writing's on the wall. They've squeezed this animal testing for 70 years and they know the time's up. To the point where I'm pretty confident if we packed up Camp Beagle and we didn't do another single demonstration, it's still on the way out. It's reached a point of like total. But when they turn things around, it's like turning an oil tanker around. You can imagine being the lawyer for Pfizer. So you'll have all these witch kids coming up with these AI technology, organ on a chip. Really, they're not alternatives to animal testing, because animal testing doesn't work when you want human results. Experiment on a dog doesn't tell you what's going to happen to a cat. Experiment on a cat doesn't tell you what's going to happen to a horse. It's silly to use, even again, that stupid word, but we've got all these techniques, and imagine at the Pfizer management meeting, right, animal testing, 96% failure. Now we've got all these techniques that have got 80, 90% success rate, and you want higher than that, really. There's techniques very high. Right, we're ready to go, but then the lawyer's going to stand up and go, hang on, no. When the judge asks in the compensation claim, when you get damaged by the paint, the drug, this, where's the animal testing data? It's going to take one of these big companies. Some major has to shift. In America, the FDA have been making big statements. We'll see if that turns into anything. So yeah, we've created all the conditions ready for this thing to topple.
Yeah. Like you say, it's a tanker, innit? And it's when the big dogs are involved with all that money, if it ain't going to stop overnight, is it? It's just not going to. So you've got, I mean, this is on a main road, man. This is on a main road. I mean, I bet you're used to that hum now, you know? The buzzer cars coming past. 4 years they've been here. 4 years they've sat here, man. And you could chuck a brick to the gates of hell. I know that some people do call it the gates of hell, actually. You get a lot of support, a lot of bips of the horn. I mean, look at this, man. How people can come past and see puppies in cages. And it'd be interesting to see the reaction if the local testing facility didn't employ all the bloody locals down the road. Definition of not having it. Look, there's no backbone, is there? They've got no backbone. I need my money. They can't leave the town and get a job. You know, I'd leave the town and be unemployed. I don't know, do some basking or something, let alone be able to leave the town and get a different job. Instead of helping these daughters. We've got PJ, we've got Martin. Happy hippie, what is going on? Yeah, man, I've wanted to come down here for a long time. It just happened to be that every time there was a protest on, I was doing something else, but here we are. John's been here for 4 years. How many is there, John, in the whole team?
It's all fluid.
10-ish?
Yeah, 8 to 10 people. But staying here is random, but there's always probably 2 of us. 2 or 3 of us. There has to be 1, but there's normally 2. But that can go up. You'll have a couple of days when there's 6 people, a couple of days when there's 10, then you go back to 2, and then there's 20.
So there's always somebody here, man. There's always at least 1 or 2 here, but it can be up to 10, 15, 20. And the impact they've had just from putting the signs here for 4 years, let alone do anything else. I know they've just hit 3 million on Instagram, so they've hit 3 million accounts a month.
3 million a month.
A month, yeah. That's every month. That can go down and up, but it's roughly averaging about 3 million a month. But just from having the signs here, the awareness. I mean, you can't really ignore. It's driving past, man, and I don't know how many cars come past a day, but. It's impossible to ignore. Oh, what's that thing? Oh, I'll go and Google that. Bang! All of a sudden, you've found out about all the puppies being tortured, and then then you can go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, man, Laura, what is going on? Enough love to you. I will text you back one day. We got PJ, Lemaire Socks. I don't know why. We've got a troll in front of a puppy torturing facility. Absolutely mental. But have you got any questions for John? If you've got any questions for John, who's been in here for 4 years, he's seen it all, 40 years of vivisection work, then please do ask. Peter Cooper, you must be for the torturing of puppies, which is mental. Maybe you should sort that one out on your own. It's got nothing to do with me or anyone else. Oh, mate. Yeah, all the time, man.
Just tell them Jesus loves you. That's all. I'd never respond to them.
Funnily enough, someone's literally just said that. Jesus loves you all.
Love you.
You'll be okay, man.
That's all. Get it. Jesus loves you.
Do you get a lot of shouts there from this?
No,
that is fucked.
You get, yeah.
See, that's where I could not handle myself, man. I couldn't.
I know, I love it. That's why I go. I smile and go, Jesus loves you. Now it's like. Whatever, mate.
I mean, see, that's what I mean. The meat and the dairy and the eggs and whatnot, and you got all that game. We're talking to food addicts here, and I expect that reaction off certain people. But when we're outside a puppy torturing facility, that just goes to show that the breed that you're dealing with online, man. You know what I mean? This goes to show the how low people will stoop, man. I mean, have you got nothing better to do? I don't know, man. Like, do you hate puppies? I mean, what is it? It's fucking nuts. But anyway, yeah, they've got a vegan kitchen. I don't know if you was here for the vegan kitchen. Cups of tea. We've had a kettle that's been on for 4 years. And yeah, people come and go. People pop in. They say hello. They leave. They draw attention to, and it's working, man. But as John said, it is a tanker that needs to be turned around, and it's on the way. Peter Cooper, your breakfast had a penis. Sorry, I promise I wasn't going to be like that today, but you've just pushed me to it. Have you got any questions for John? Yes, Josh, it is still happening, man. It's still happening. It's not just happening in a fairy tale. It's happening over there. 2025, man. How embarrassing is the human race? How embarrassing are fucking people? Vivisection, a waste of scientific resources. Free the MBR beagles. MBR acres breed over 2,000 beagles a year. 2,000 beagles a year, man. Lying in their own shit. Lying in their own piss. The staff leave for what, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. On a Saturday, they leave at 11 a.m. and they're not in till 8 a.m. the next day. I mean, and you imagine if it was their dog. Imagine if it was their dog, though. I know. Imagine if your dog spent. I mean, most people can't leave their dog alone for 6 hours, man. In a nice, comfy room with water, with bedding, with food. Do you know what I mean? 16 hours on your own, man, in a cage, never seen the light of day. How long do the beagles typically live there, John? Lifespan?
They're here till about 5 months, 6 months, go to the lab, and they won't reach their first birthday. None of them reach it. The only ones that reach their first birthday would be the ones they keep in here for breeding.
Wow.
So they don't get to live 1 year.
Wow.
They all die. They all get killed. Every dog that gets used for toxicology will be killed either by bleeding them to death or suffocation, actually, because they don't want to add extra chemicals because they post-mortem the bodies. Every mouse they get used in toxicology gets this late. It's all fake science, but it reads like a proper post-mortem.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. That means to get global sales, to get permission to sell a new insecticide, experiment some mice, poison some mice, giving them an enormous amount of quantity of this stuff, do a post-mortem. It all looks very scientific, 50-page scientific post-mortem on a mouse. And then you can release it onto the market. Global sales after being pest safe on mice and dogs. It's a nonsense. It's bullshit. People used to believe governments. People used to believe people with a suit.
People have woke up now, haven't they?
And a shirt and a tie. And if they were on telly telling it this product was safe, people believed them. They don't now.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder what worldwide event caused people to wake up a little bit. Shut up, I won't go there, shut up. But yeah, they won't even make it to 1 year old, man. No. They won't even make it to one.
Have you been down the side? You can hear the puppies. Some of the sound escapes, and none of them dogs, tiny puppies, none of them will get to 1 year old.
Can I hear them now, John? Yeah, if I go down.
If you go down, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you'll hear a muffled thing, but you'll hear something. Tell people to be quiet, even the sound of a passing car will drown it out.
Oh, God.
When you go down, I won't go down with it. First, you'll see 3 sheds. The first shed, they've actually emptied it because it was too close to us because we'd get too much sound because the scout and sound was scared from the air vents. But you've got 3 sheds here. You're next to hundreds of dogs now. Keep going and keep walking down and you'll hear piercing, piercing cries. But there's 1,300, 1,400 puppies in there now. It sounds like you'll think there's about 5 dogs in here.
Yeah. I can imagine a lot of them have give up, haven't they? I can imagine a lot of them have give up and they just lying there, you know, just learned helplessness.
Yeah, well, we put the cameras in. It's more like not lying down, stereotypical behaviour. They're Beagles, you know, they've got a lot of energy, so they're just going back and forth. See all this rubbish here, that's the High Court injunction that they tried to serve on from today by just throwing it on the ground. So normally we pick up litter, but this is their litter. Yeah,
it's their litter, man. I don't know if this is going to tip me over the edge, and but yeah, I'm surprised they ain't. Blocked it off. Really, I don't know why they've.
Photo, video.
There's a sign there, but I can't read it, if you know what I mean.